and 3/4 of them did.
We are chatting it up with Phil Combs, a historian, announcer, and again, just so much history in your family. Your dad was a flagman in NASCAR, and all the cool
years,
things
yeah.
in 20
years. Yeah, my dad actually went to work for NASCAR in 1952, and he worked till 1972. He flagged the first ever World 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 60 cars started the race without any radios. Didn't have any radios back then. And, my dad, he drove the pace car at Daytona, but he flagged, at a lot of the, at Darlington and Atlanta and, all over the place. But my dad and mom both actually worked for NASCAR. And, but, you mentioned my museum. I want you to come, and I want to invite anybody that's listening to this to come.
We are trying to get you trying to get it scheduled for next Wednesday. Because I'm going to be in the Charlotte area.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the Charlotte area. We are trying to get that scheduled, hopefully for next Wednesday. But real quickly, talk about your museum, because I heard it's something cool to see. Even Mackie said that.
Well, I've had 100 people ask in the past. I think my dad will ever get in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and I'll tell you just as quick as you ask, no, he won't, because there's hundreds of people that there's all kinds of people that should be in there that's not in there that never get in there probably. But, my dad did do a lot when he was in racing, and I'm proud of what he did. And my mom saved so much of his stuff, and I just decided to kind of build a shrine of the stuff that my mom had saved, of the stuff that my dad had done,
right,
and in all of his days of racing. And so I had a 5-year plan. When I retired, I wanted to build a building and do all this. And it's, it's been a lifelong goal to do it. But my mom, you'll have to see it to understand the stuff that she saved. It really amazes me that my mom had the hindsight that many years ago to save all the stuff that she did. And then I guess it kind of rubbed off on me as a kid, and I saved a lot of my own stuff, and people asked me, said, how in the world did you save this? Well, a lot of it I didn't, but, when I got old enough, I started saving stuff myself, and it's just a little, I don't like just one type racing, and that's one thing about this. A lot of it is go-kart racing. A lot of it's NASCAR, but I got dirt track. I got a drag racing section in it.
Yes,
and,
you love drag racing.
I got a little bit of everything.
You love drag racing. That's one of the things me and you actually hit it off talking about when we first started talking with each other. I guess almost a decade ago. That's how long we've known one another. Might be longer than that, Phil. But it was drag race talk. That's what me and you were first talking about, was drag racing.
Yes, sir. And I tell a lot of people, I think I missed my calling because I drag raced when I was 16 years old.
Right.
But the thing was, I had already been racing go-karts for a good many years. And I was lucky enough that I had some really good rides. I drove for two different people, and one in 4 cycles and one in 2 cycles. And I had the top rides, and I was only 16 years old. And I had the best rides you could have in go-kart racing.
Wow.
And so I kind of pushed the drag racing thing aside. And as I look back now, I had some people that come to me when I won a drag race one time at Shadyside Drag Strip. I had some guys come to me and said, Phil said, we want to help you do this and do that. And, I guess I was just young and dumb. I could have probably taken that deal and took off and really done something in drag racing.
Right.
I already had one thing going. Why would I quit that to start doing something else? But I enjoy all kinds of it. I'm kind of like yourself, Wesley. I don't like to just go to one type track. I might be at a, like you say, at Z-Max tomorrow and then a dirt track the next day.
That's right. For instance, Michigan last Monday, Michigan. Then I'm down in Charlotte. Then I'm going to Kentucky. Then I'm going to West Virginia. Then I'm down to Florida. I enjoy the traveling.
I do too.
And for you, this is a full-time career for me. This is what I do that pays the bills. This is my life. If I don't do good in this, I'm in the poorhouse, so to speak, or I have to go to do something else, the equivalent of flipping burgers or working at some, yes, I do have a degree in hotel management, but, I don't want to work in the hotels. Been there, done that. But when I made that decision to go full time, this is what I wanted to do. And you got to work and go at it to do it. But you had a successful career working with FedEx. You had a full time job, and you still did the karting announcing and other announcing as a hobby during the weekend.
I'll be honest with you. As I look back now, I really and truly don't see how I did what I did, because one particular year, I used to keep a schedule. I'm sure you do the same thing.
Oh, yes.
And I had a schedule January through December, And every race that I went to, I kept that list that year. And at the end of the year, I looked at that thing. And of the 52 weeks, I was supposed to announce, I think, 48 of those. Now, there's a couple of weeks got rained out, but back then I was announcing on Friday night and Saturday night, a lot of that. And,
right.
And I look back and I say, how in the heck did I do that? Because, and I actually, in the same time, I was I actually made pictures at one time in my life at the races. So I was a photographer too.
Wow.
And, so, I look back and I don't know how I juggled all that stuff, but, I'm proud of what you've done with your, you're a lot younger. Like I said, you're a whole lot younger than I was when I started doing it. And you got a lot of ambition and I'm sure you'll do well if you stick with it. And I know you will, but it's, the best thing that I like about racing is the people. And I've said this all my life, you can deal with people that like football, baseball, basketball, whatever, golf or whatever. But I think the racing community, especially when something bad happens, they might want to beat you on the track, but you let something bad happen to you or your family or, it's just something as simple as this. I was at a race at Paradise one night, and a buddy of mine came to the tower, and he said, Phil, I wanted to let you know I'm heading home. I said, heading home? I said, why? He said, well, I didn't have a one engine. I messed it up. He said, I'm just going to go and get out of here. And I said, man, don't do that. And I announced over the PA system, I just told the truth. I said, I got this buddy of mine here that drove nearly 3 hours to get here, and he's blown his engine. Is there anybody here that would happen to have a spare engine that they would loan him, rent him, or whatever? And so he's standing there, and all of a sudden, here comes 4 people walking in the tower, and they said, I got an engine he can use. Well, listen, and I'm not talking about just a piece of junk engine. These were people's high-dollar backup engines.
Right.
And this guy, he couldn't believe it. He's standing there. He's got 4 people standing in front of him. Every one of them offered to loan him an engine. Now, how many other forms of anything do you think you could? Now, I know people will loan you something, but I think go-kart people, to me, are the best of the best as far as being a true family sport. And I'm just proud to be part of it. I really am.
Definitely. Well, Phil, thank you so much, buddy, for joining us. We're going to get Austin Yarborough on the line here next. Do you think Austin could be the man to win at Charlotte this weekend for the karting challenge?
I think he can, and I think he can. And when you get him on there, I want you to talk to him about this too. The Big O's coming up, and if you can come up here next week, I want to kind of do a thing on talk to you sometime before the Big O about the Big O race, because I put a post on Facebook about the Big O race that I think it's the Indy 500, the Daytona 500.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
Go-kart racing.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's really growed.
If Austin could win that again this year, he won it last year, but if he could add that win to what he's already won this year, that would be equivalent to winning the Triple Crown in horse racing. It really would.
Wow.
That's what he's done already is pretty amazing, and but he never ceases to amaze me. He's a great driver. He thinks about a lot of stuff. A lot of people get out there and they race, but they're racing, but they're not thinking about what they're doing when they're racing. But Austin, he's the thinker, man. I'm telling you, he's thinking a whole lot ahead of a lot of folks, and that's how he won that race this weekend. If you watch the video, there's no way in the world he should have won that race. If you watch that, he's running 4th place, and he ain't even got a shot of winning. It didn't look like with maybe a couple laps to go, and then he all of a sudden there he is, passed him on the outside and won it.
Well, we're going to talk to Austin Yarborough about that, the native out of Blackshear, Georgia, and his thoughts of the Big O Tribute and so much more coming up here. Phil Combs, thank you so much, man. We'll be in touch. We'll try to get a hold of you next week and do the finish line show from your museum. Definitely.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on, and good luck this weekend, and thank you for all you do for racing.
Thank you. You too as well, Phil. Appreciate it. Phil Combs,
yes,
one
sir.
of the best in karting, from announcing to being a historian, talking about these big events and history of kart racing in general.
This is Finish Line.
Radio timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk to Austin Yarborough, one of the greats of kart racing in this generation today. Could he be the Charlotte winner? We'll find out here after our radio timeout.
All About Wraps strives to offer our clients with fast, affordable service with race wraps starting at only $500. From go-karts to national touring teams and everything in between. Late models, modifieds, sprint cars, midgets, asphalt cars, and we'll even decal your helmets. Wraps, design services, and promotions. Everything we offer at All About Wraps. Contact us today to see what we can do for your team. Give us a call, 410-903-3302. Email us at allaboutraps@hotmail.com and visit us on Facebook at All About Wraps.
Time to get this cranked up on Short Track America.
Dirt or pavement, from east to west. Short Track America features some of the biggest grassroots races around the country. Super late models to street stock racing. If it's on a half mile or smaller track, it's on Short Track America. On MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
The Speed 51 Video Network live races, highlights, interviews, features, and more. You want it, the Speed 51 Video Network has it.
You gotta be kidding me!
There's total chaos! What a wild finish! Oh my goodness!
Become a member of the Speed 51 Video Network today at speed51.com.
This is Chris Nunn from the Sling and Dirt Podcast and the announcer at Twin Cities Raceway Park in North Vernon, Indiana. And you're listening to The Finish Line with the hashtag king himself, Wesley Outland.
This is Finish Line.
Welcome back to the program. Wesley Outland back here with you. Thank you, executive producer Trey Snyder, everybody running the boards. It is Finish Line, June 19th edition. Fox Sports Radio, Community Radio Network, iHeartRadio, Tuned In Radio, Tuned In, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify. Great interview with Phil Combs there. During radio timeout, by the way, we were talking about the Speed 51 Network. And, of course, you know, I do a lot of work with Speed 51 as well as with MAV TV, Short Track America. And they have a program for the summer, starting tonight, for that matter, called Summer Thunder 2019. Summer Thunder TV. If you are not a subscriber to Speed 51 Network, you need to get it, okay? This summer alone, Bob Dillner, Mark Keeler, Tom Ryan, all the staff have put together over 70 races, almost 70 races. I want to say it was 68 whenever I left the office yesterday. 68 races in 2.5 months, spanned at an equivalent of just about 40 cents per race. Everything from dirt, asphalt, karting, mill bridge, the late models, special touring events, special marquee shows for dirt and asphalt. And it is part of Summer Thunder TV. All, again, $9.99 a month. And, again, if you get a subscription with Speed 51 for this package, you are going to see over 70 races being a subscriber to Speed 51 Network for only 40 cents a race. Where else in the country, in the world for that matter, can you see races of that caliber for less than 40 cents? I digress. Get back to me. We'll talk about it. I don't see how there's any way. Phenomenal. Speed 51 Summer Thunder TV. Check it out. It starts tonight at Millbridge Speedway, a Thursday race as well. Friday, we're going to be at I-77. I'll be the announcer for that event, that TV broadcast. That will be at I-77 Speedway in Ripley, West Virginia, part of the Musket Mountaineer Challenge weekend. Finally, the ultimate Mid-Ohio Valley Heart of America Series will crank up. Let's go back to the phone lines now. We're going to get on our next guest, Austin Yarborough. We heard excuse me, we heard Phil talking about this talent, and I've known Austin Yarborough for a very, very long time. When I announced marquee special karting events. This kid's definitely talented from Blackshear, Georgia. And again, like me and Phil were talking about, I'm ready to see the time come for Austin Yarborough to move up to the next level, to get out of karting. I think he's great in karting, don't get me wrong, but I'm ready to see him move up to